Hello again, pet parents. This is Soumya, your host for today from Pet Fed India. With a plethora of new and exciting and different career opportunities to choose from these days, a successful career in the pet care industry can also be extremely rewarding. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to become a professional pet groomer? Have you ever thought about becoming a certified groomer because of your love for pets? Have you dreamed of opening your own pet studio salon? If you have had any of these questions before or even more, today you're at the right place. Today we are here, as promised, with Radhiya Hemchandra, a certified international master groomer and founder of Fuzzy Wuzzy. Hi Radhiya, welcome to the live chat.
Hi, Samia.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good too. Thanks for asking. So, as you know, Radhya, today we are here to discuss all about how to become a pet groomer. The viewers who are watching us right now, please feel free to drop in any queries that you have regarding this topic and in the comment section below, and we'll surely be answering them for you. Radhya Hemchandra is the founder owner of Fuzzy Wuzzy, India's premier pet styling studio and spa, professional pet grooming school, and Funky Fur's exclusive pet grooming products and pet boutique. She is also an all breed certified international master groomer and was the first Indian to participate and win a placement in an international grooming competition held in the USA. She has groomed over 7,000 pets in her years of experience and has taught over 170 students in the field of professional pet grooming from all over India and across the world. So, Radhya, let's get started with what we really here are for. We are here to discuss all about how to become a pet groomer. And people who are joining us now, you can drop in your queries in the comment section below, and Radhya will be answering them for you. So, first things first, Radhya, what does it take to get into this profession of pet grooming?
Okay. So, as you all know, pet grooming is not just about bathing a dog and finishing it off and all of that. It's you need to have a genuine and keen interest in the well-being of pets. Okay. So, what I mean is that although there is a great monetary return on this kind of a profession, that shouldn't be the key that person's looking at while wanting to become a groomer. It will give you a lot of satisfaction if you know you're able to make a change for each individual pet as they walk in. And that's something that you need to have as an individual. Okay?
Right.
So that's
Okay.
that's basically what it needs.
Nice. That's nice. All right. And what are the things that you need to have before signing on as a groomer? Like in terms of personality traits or even like otherwise, what is it that one should be looking at?
Okay. So the things a person needs to have, one is patience. Patience is the key ingredient to this job because, as you can't just tell a pet sit and it won't listen. Even kids don't listen that often. So a person who's dealing with pets have to deal with them like they were children or even more sensitive than children. Okay. So they need to have the patience, and I emphasize patience. That's the most important key ingredient. The second one is the passion to do this job.
Okay.
You need to be passionate about what you're doing, not because you have a target and you want to achieve it. You need to be able to understand that I want this dog to become better genuinely. We get a lot of dogs that are not just ones that we need to bathe. We need to fix their skin condition, coat condition,
Oh,
and things like
oh
that.
yeah.
So, the passion to make them genuinely better is what we
Okay.
need in people. So, that's
Okay.
important. And then your interest. Now, you can't be holding your mobile phone and then grooming a dog and, again back to your mobile playing games, right? So you need to
Right.
be interested in what you're doing. It shouldn't be pushed on you to do this as a job. You should have your
Right.
own genuine interest where you can keep that phone away. Games
Mhm.
come later, but you can always say, not during the time when you have a pet. And then
Right.
you should also check whether you have the financial stability to get into a profession like this. You
Right.
know, it's not just you have a starting amount and then you continue with that and then expect only returns. There are things that you'll have to spend in, like you'll have to improvise on your business options. You'll have to upgrade your items in your grooming parlor. So those are things that you need to consider, and you need to have enough of a financial back to do it. You shouldn't just
Right.
be depending on what you invest, right?
Right.
And of course, you have to be dedicated. Now, there are times that you will be disheartened. There will be 100 other people who say that they can also do the grooming, but you have to have that belief and the faith and the dedication to know that you can do a much better job on your own. So this is
Right.
very important before you sign on to becoming a groomer. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds
Mm-hmm.
pretty intrusive, actually. Okay, so once we identify that,
Mm-hmm.
say I feel like I have all these four things, and I
Mm-hmm.
identify to this, and I identify that okay, this is what I am cut out for. So, what is the
Mm-hmm.
next thing that I should consider now? What's the next thing to consider?
Okay.
Like is
So
education in a professional pet grooming course should be my next step, or should I just like probably intern in a grooming salon, or probably take up a job and gain some experience? So is that a better direction to go in? What do you think?
okay. Okay. So honestly, I do believe the best groomers are made of the people who have their own pets. Okay. And maybe not many people have their own pets or don't have the liberty to do so because of their families
Hmm.
agreeing or disagreeing to the same. But yes, I mean, if they do have pets, it's nothing like it because it's the experience that really counts. The fact that you
Right.
have an animal or a pet every day with you to observe on a daily basis and understand how they react to things, that is very important. But otherwise, in generic, in the generic perspective, yes,
Hmm.
it is very important to be educated in the right course or in the right manner. You need to find an education that supports all the interests that you have pertaining to pets, and also what kind of pets you'll be dealing with. Especially in India, we deal with different pets. Abroad,
Hmm.
they deal with different types of pets, and
Right.
each one needs different things.
Right.
So you need to find the best course of education that can actually complement your sector of grooming. So
Okay.
that is very, very important.
Okay.
But
Okay.
experience, I would say, is like more important. But then again, for people, it's just the education.
Ah, okay. So, like,
Hmm.
on-the-job training needs to be done after an education in this particular
Yeah, I
sector.
mean, if you really, I mean, if you want more experience after
Mm-hmm.
you've done your training, you can do it. It again, it depends on what kind of course you signed up for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you've done a hands-on practical course, then you
Uh-huh.
really don't need to assist further or be with somebody while you're doing it. Now,
Uh-huh.
if you have a theoretical course, then of
Uh-huh.
course you will need that experience to deal with pets on a daily basis because you don't know how they're going to behave with you or react with you.
Right.
So yeah, that's very important to consider when you're deciding. I mean, you can work with someone if you wish or don't have that confidence. But
Right.
like I said, it's better to do a practical hands-on course because that teaches you
Right.
much more than you can learn in theory, you know?
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Makes sense. And I don't think it's even allowed, right? That until unless you have some sort of certification for grooming, you cannot really take up grooming, pet grooming job in any of the salons or anything. Like you need
Well,
to
you're
have that.
not supposed to. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to. I mean, it's being a responsible human being
Yeah.
honestly, because if you're responsible and you really do have love for pets, I mean, I do understand passion, but I also understand that you must have passion and you must have responsibility. You know,
Okay.
because I love dogs doesn't mean I go and work with someone because I don't know what happens next if something goes wrong. I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. But on the
Yeah.
other hand, I'm educated and I know what to do in a course of a situation, then
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense. I'm not putting anyone at risk, and I'm also making sure that I'm responsible. You know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
it's important to know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
Okay, so a couple of new people joining in. We are discussing here how to become a pet groomer with Radhiya Hemchandra. And if you've ever had any questions regarding this, now is the time. You should definitely pop in your question in the comment section below, and we'll surely answer them. So, Radhya, what is the base qualification required for us to get into this? Is there like a particular field we should be a graduate in, or any kind of base qualification, or can it be like any field, and then we can
Okay.
make the smooth transition?
Well, luckily enough, you don't have to be educated in any field to get into this. All you
Oh,
must really have is to be passionate about pets and have genuine love for them. Okay?
right,
Um,
right,
you really don't need to be technical about anything that you do over here because it's all
right,
about dealing with life. you know.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, this is the best, like I said, the best career, profession, passion, and job in the world, because you really don't need a qualification apart from being patient and, you know, having love for pets. So yeah, I think that's all that anyone needs, all that anyone needs.
That's reassuring to hear, I'm sure, for
Yeah.
a lot of people. So that's a
Mhm.
good thing. All right. Okay. So, how to choose the right institute? Okay. So,
Mhm.
when we now that if I'm looking at joining a relevant pet grooming course,
Mhm.
how do I choose the right institute? And
Mhm.
what are the factors that one should consider, that I should consider when I'm choosing an institute or even a trainer who belongs to a particular institute to learn from? What are those
Okay.
factors?
Okay. So the first thing is you need to know how well this establishment or the academy that they're actually looking to join in is how well it is, or how well it has been doing, and for how long they've been doing it. Because, like I told you, more than anything, it is experience. That is like the majorest factor of all of it, because you learn from experience. Okay. So you need to know whether these people, I mean, I'm just going to refer to them as these people, because
Yeah. Yeah.
you'll
Of course.
understand it's an academy or whatever. How do they have pets of their own? Is it something that they deal with on a daily basis? Is it just a business? There are small little questions you need to ask, because if a person is just doing this as a 9 to 5 job, then it's almost like trying to sign off to get back home and continue on with their life. But if it is a part of their life, is something that they're already doing, that they're dealing with on a daily basis, then you'll understand that this is a genuine passion, and only a passionate teacher can teach a student
Right.
to cultivate that passion, you know. So
Yes.
that's very important. So experience would be like the majorest thing, and the second thing is, as an institute, how many people have, you know, completed, moved on, and set up on their own. Because a lot of, I mean, certification, anybody can get certified in anything. It doesn't make you a pet groomer, it doesn't make you have a business already done,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
You need to actually see how many of these people have actually turned into groomers and are doing this as a profession. And all of this will obviously be accessible on their computer if they Google search or research, you know,
Right.
they would be able to understand. And like I mentioned, how many years of experience they have, because like I said, the years actually, it's not about the age of a person, it's just about the years of experience that they have. They could have just grown up with pets, but at least
Uh-huh.
they'll know how to deal with them. And what range of pets do they deal with? Is it only dogs? Is it cats, hamsters, rabbits? You know, there are different domesticated animals that people keep as pets. So what does it continue to pertain to? And in
Right.
the grooming industry alone, is this establishment known, well known? Is it
Okay.
a place that can give you the credibility to move on in life if you were to go, let's say, international, or if you were to transport yourself to a different country and work? So all of these are factors that you need to consider, you
Right.
know. Yeah,
Right.
and you can do your research. Luckily, we have Google at our fingertips, so
Yeah. We
everybody
do.
can do their research. And
Yeah.
yeah, and at the end of the day, they'll go with their gut instinct, because when you talk to a person, you'll know how warm they are, and if they deal with pets, you'll understand what kind of person they're dealing with, and then you'll know how they treat their pets, and you'll know where to learn from. So
Right.
that's very important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a lot of sense. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a couple of questions here,
Okay.
and Lauren says Radhiya Hemchandra, the best professional groomers in India, in fact, world class. That's
Mm-hmm.
cute. Okay, Michael Christopher asks, is there any age restriction to become a pet groomer?
Okay. Well, there's no age restriction, but I don't recommend this grooming field even as a passion or as a hobby for anyone under 14,
Yeah, of course.
and
Any
anyone and
time.
and anyone over 70. And I'm saying that in the best respect possible, only because um, for a younger girl or a boy or a child, they need to understand the equipment that they're working with, because as a groomer, you're dealing with clipping equipment, scissors, you know, sharp objects, and carrying dogs and pets is not an easy thing. It needs physical ability. So, in
Right.
like I mentioned, in the best, for their best possible interest, for a younger child who will not know how to respond in a certain circumstance, I wouldn't consider anything under 14. And I wouldn't do anything above 70 because I've had a student who was 68 years old, and she proved me very wrong about me assuming that they can't do stuff. And
Right.
I mean, she could do a lot. She could carry
Yeah.
a dog that was 30 kilos, and it was really
Okay.
mind boggling. So
Right.
it's amazing. So yeah, if you're not
Good.
physically inactive or not able to do anything, I wouldn't recommend. But if you have the energy, yes, no problem. But for children, like I said, nothing under 14. That is important.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. Awesome. We have
Hmm.
more comments coming in. Hi, Minaz. Hi, Anil. If you guys have any questions, you can ask. Sherwin is asking, what are the options in India? A good
Hmm.
training school for grooming, to learn grooming as a profession, basically.
Okay. So well, you will have to do, I'm going to be generic, okay? Because if I talk about just my institute, I don't want, I mean, I will boast about my institute because we've worked really hard. We've been in this industry for
Uh-huh.
35 years. My mother established this industry. I've
Okay.
grown up with pets all my life, and I understand the difficulty. So, and this is something we do. It's not just for monetary basis because we have multiple businesses. So I would definitely recommend Fuzzy Wuzzy
Okay.
to be your
Yeah.
major training institute.
Right.
But I mean, like I said, you have Google at your fingertips. So
Mhm.
you can do your research. I mean, check with the experience of the person, the interest of the person. If the person is a warm enough person that you can deal with, because only a warm person can deal with pets in a warm fashion, right?
Mhm.
If you have a person who's very cutthroat and going like, take this, do this, we need this, take a franchisee, or take a branch of us, then you understand it's more on the monetary basis, and they don't have any
Right.
interest to make you establish yourself as an individual. So
Right.
this is very important. So you have
Right.
Google, you can use Google.
Great. Okay. That
Mhm.
I hope that answers Sherwin's questions. Okay. AK Mithil asks, there are so many online grooming training available, particularly due to COVID-19 pandemic situation. What is your take and suggestion on it? Online training
Okay,
for
online
grooming, especially.
training.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm not going to go against it, but I'm not
Hmm.
really completely for it either because how much can you learn in theory?
Yeah.
I mean, they can tell you the techniques of how to hold a dog or how to handle a dog, but if you
Hmm.
don't have the practical experience, how do you know you can do it? Things are
Yeah.
easy to see than do, you know. So like I said, online training for certain courses, perhaps like something that's theory based, is
Hmm.
agreeable. But for a
Right.
groomer, I think the person has to be there and do it in the flesh. I think they need to have the hands on experience. And that matters so much because the more dogs or pets you do, the more you learn.
Right.
So, like I said, I don't have anything against it because I understand the world is changing and
Hmm.
everybody is going online, but there's not
Right.
much you can do online. You can't groom a dog for a client online, you
Yeah.
know?
You.
You can't. You can't tell them, listen, pay me,
Yeah.
but I'm going to tell you what to do. You can't do that. So, yes,
Yeah.
I would suggest going to the institute. You can wait till the pandemic is over. The world
Yeah.
will keep changing and then decide and make a decision. But don't do anything in a hurry because it's not the end of the world. We have time. So
Yeah.
we'll,
Yeah.
we'll be good.
Hopefully, hopefully
Yeah,
it's not the end.
we'll be
Yeah. So like,
positive.
and even
Yeah.
I guess like basic, like completely basic grooming is something that which can still be told, online. But I guess like an advanced level is to be done in flesh and in life, like you said. You know.
Yeah, like even
So.
the basics, Soumya. Like just
Uh-huh.
we'll take an example. If I told you to how to clean a dog's ear, I can tell you in theory, but
Yeah.
you will still have to adhere to everything I say to you to actually do it, right? But if I were there looking at you doing it, I'd be able to guide you and let you know what's good, what's not good. Is it too much? Is the dog getting hurt? So, like I said, I think for grooming, practical is still preferred. If you were doing like a behavior analogy or something based on skin or something, you can probably do that online. But grooming, I would still think you need to do it, with a hands-on training.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay, we have a few more, questions that we'll take before we go on to the, courses and discuss more about grooming courses and stuff. People who are
Okay.
joining us now, we're talking about what does it take and how to become a pet groomer, professional pet groomer. We are taking questions right now. We'll also be talking a lot about the courses that are available in pet grooming and what are the different guidelines that these courses offer. So, Menaz is asking how much time does it take? It takes for a person to be a trained groomer.
Okay. So a trained groomer will take up anything between 60 to 100 hours if they were doing it on a daily basis without breaks. But
Mm-hmm.
this is just the training. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With this comes your experience, and that makes you a proper groomer. Yeah, we do conduct courses, like I mentioned earlier. So
Right.
we do have the hands-on between 60 to 100 hours.
Okay.
But it's a daily thing. It's not something you can do on just the weekends. You can't do this because you need to have the flow of doing it. So
Right.
if you dedicate your time 100 hours, 150 hours, it depends on how capable you are. But
Yeah.
you'll have to understand trained and professional, and being trained and experienced is different.
Obviously.
So that's something you'll have to judge on your own.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. Michael is asking, you're one of the greatest groomers of all times, not only in the country but in the world. Have you been able to recognize talent amongst your students who can probably become world class like you?
Wow, thank you so much for appreciating and saying such nice things. I'm very grateful. Thank you. Yes, I have had a couple of students who I believe in. I truly do believe in, and they are my prodigies. So I am training them. So we do have a plan for the future. Unfortunately, we couldn't put it into place right now. But yes, Fuzzy Wuzzy has a team, and we
Okay.
will be representing our country in the near future, hopefully, if everything is fine and travel is normal. And I do have a couple of students that I truly believe can become world class, and I would be very happy if they could become better than me, because I would have had the privilege to be their teacher. And I can always say that these are my prodigies, so I would be very happy if that happens. Definitely.
That's super cool, actually. Okay.
Thank you.
Are you conducting offline training presently in the COVID situation, and how are you ensuring safety if you are? So, is your
Okay,
academy
so
still running? Like, how is it?
Okay, so being honest with you, during the pandemic, the situation, we had a complete lockdown. As you know, every state had one. So we weren't working at that time because we didn't believe it was risk enough. We
Right.
have been adhering to government lines and our government timelines on actually being able to function, and also the hours of function. So we've been
Mm-hmm.
adhering to it. So all the students that I have enrolled for this year have been asked to be patient, and we have extended their courses slightly longer because we can't dedicate that many hours per day,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we're
Right.
doing it and checking and keeping everything safe.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are allowed to work in Bangalore, so we are conducting the classes. But of
Wow.
course, all safety and precautionary measures are taken. But it
Right.
won't get over early. It's just going to take a slightly longer period of time. But I think
Yeah.
people have the time right now, so
Yeah.
we're able to, adjust.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Why is it necessary to do a certification course, or is it necessary?
Okay. I love her questions. She's a
Yeah.
nice person. Okay. All right. So yeah, say I never considered it necessary. Okay, in personally from my experience, because I had my mother. My mother has been in the field for 40 years, and I used
Okay.
to assist her when she initially set up. This is before Fuzzy Wuzzy. We had the pet grooming parlor, and I
Right.
used to assist her. But the thing is, people don't believe in you unless you have that certificate.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's like the frame of
That's the way
mind
of the
people have.
world in any
I know.
field, actually. It's just
Yeah, I
how
mean,
it is. Yeah.
um, it's sad, but I understand, because I
Yeah.
mean, I wouldn't go to a doctor who said they had experience and didn't have a
Yeah.
certificate, or weren't qualified. So I
Mm-hmm.
understand where they were coming from. So
Yeah.
it may not have been necessary, but you
Mm-hmm.
must do it if you're in this. It's
Yeah.
not probably not, like I said, experience matters the most in whatever I do, because whatever I've learned mostly from experience rather than going and training myself across the world, right?
Right.
But
Right.
for the sake of the world, you'll have to do the certificated course, definitely,
Okay.
a
Okay.
certified course.
Okay, all right. Okay,
Mhm.
so before we go on to more questions from the audience, let's
Mhm.
go back a little bit and let's talk about the kind of grooming courses that we were discussing about. You know, whether it's in your academy or in any academy in India. Uh, what are the kind of different courses that can be covered in a grooming school? Like, uh, what, are there different modules, or is it just one course? What is it like? I mean, can you tell us that?
So we have segmented courses, we have breed courses, we have, depending on the kind of dogs that you are intending to work on, courses. So I'll explain to you what we
Right.
have generically, okay? So we have the
Mm-hmm.
maintenance grooming courses, creative grooming courses, camouflage grooming courses, and show grooming courses. So these are the four
Uh-huh.
types of courses that we have. Now, each of
Okay.
these are further segmented into breeds and breed classifications. Okay,
Right.
so
Right.
all people may not need all the kinds of grooming. However,
Mm-hmm.
we also have our generic grooming course, which is the basic professional pet grooming course, where we
Right.
include all of these as the agenda for learning. And we also
Mm-hmm.
have a salon professional course that is basically for an assistant, to be an assistant
Okay.
to a professional groomer who knows at least
Okay.
the guidelines of safety. So we have these
Right.
courses in hand. And with our creative grooming courses, unfortunately, in India, we don't have that many dogs to experiment on with coloring and styling. So
Uh-huh.
it's rare that a person takes it up. However, we have made it a part of our regular
Right.
course where we teach you the techniques on doing it. And then, of course, it
Okay.
depends on your passion and how you want to take it further.
Okay. Okay. So,
Mhm.
I myself have heard about show grooming. So, can you just like
Mhm.
delve slightly deeper about what these courses entail exactly? Like, what is a show? What will a show grooming course, kind of make you learn like a little bit, and the other three,
Okay.
four courses that you mentioned. Like,
Okay.
obviously, the
So,
basic pet one we all know will be like just like pet grooming and the entire thing. But what about these
mhm.
specialized courses?
Okay. So, like we have over 300 breeds in the world, right?
Right.
So, like in India, in India, we don't get to see those 300 breeds, but we do have guidelines for every breed. Okay. And we
Okay.
have about 11 different dog groups that they all fall into or come under. All right.
Okay.
So, in our
Mhm.
show grooming courses, we teach the person the types of groups that are there available. Now, this is all international show standard grooming. So, every dog is supposed to look a certain way, they're supposed to have a certain coat texture. They're supposed to be shown in a certain, presentation.
Right.
So
Right.
everything is what we have guidelines for, and we have to adhere to those guidelines in order for these dogs to be show dogs. Okay,
Okay.
so this is what it's more complicated, and like I said, it's not what anybody can teach you. It's no common training institute, if there are any, or no other person can teach you, because for me, I'm lucky because I have my mom who's an all breeds international judge. She's been in the business for 40 years. So keeping a close eye and monitoring everything she does and having her being around me has been one of my greatest I don't know how to say. It's been a privilege because I am able to see things on a very close basis, and I'm able to be corrected on that close basis. So it
Right.
has made me
Right.
a better groomer. So
Right.
that makes a big difference. And with show grooming, you can't make mistakes because you will be destroying the career of a pet if you make a mistake. So
Right.
yeah, it is technical, very technical. You have to go deeper into the breeds, standards, areas of them existing, what happens in India, what happens when they're abroad. So yeah,
Right.
it takes a longer period of time. And like I said, those courses will be done only after you know your basic course,
Basic
because
course.
it's your basic course is your
A step ahead.
foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The rest of
Understood.
them are just the step ahead. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. About these courses now, what is the duration of these courses?
Okay. So, like I said, we have our generic courses. We have
Mhm.
only two of those. So, the one professional pet grooming course is approximately between 60 to 100 hours. Now,
Mhm.
why we've kept it at 60 to 100 hours on a daily basis and with no breaks is because we believe in you having the flow of the course. Okay.
Mhm. Right.
So typically, the same course is available abroad for maybe it's usually made into 3 months to 6 months. Okay,
Okay.
with you have to come once a week or once in 2 weeks, depends on when they have availability of dogs. But here we have
Right.
dogs available for you all the time because we have one of India's largest kennel. So we like to we know the value of a person's time. We understand that they value their time a lot as well. So we try to
Mhm.
give them that flow, so when they have that experience, they will immediately be able to set up and start. you know
Right.
so that's
Right.
our one
Right.
of the courses. And the other course, like I told you, is a salon professional course, which is
Right.
approximately 30 to 50 hours. It's not very
Okay.
stressful, but it'll give you, it's basically what every pet owner would need to learn,
Okay.
if they were going to do this at home if they wish, or if they wanted to be an assistant to a groomer.
Right.
Yeah, so this is
Right.
what we have.
Right. Okay. So actually,
Mhm.
there is a question here. Interesting. I think this course would be for them. They're asking, can someone learn grooming just for their own pet and not establish a parlor? Is that possible?
Sure, sure. We do have breed specific courses available,
Mm-hmm.
and we have them available according to the kind of pet they have. Some of the pet parents love to do everything on their own, and they do walk in and
Yeah.
request these kind of courses. So we do
Right.
design them specifically for the client, depending on
Uh-huh.
what their requirement is. And of course, I
Awesome.
mean, like I said, everything is according to what they want, and they are more than happy to do it. Really, they're more than happy to do it.
Right. So, I
Mm.
mean, that's possible. That means it's absolutely
Yeah,
possible if you just
sure,
want to learn
absolutely.
grooming for your own pet. That's pretty cool,
Sure,
I
sure.
guess.
Yeah.
Okay. How much time period? So you already told us the duration of these
Hmm.
courses.
Hmm.
What kind of time period are we looking at in terms of theory and in terms of practical knowledge in these courses? Like, how much is the time divided
Hmm.
between?
Okay. Well, let's put it this way. You're going to be having 10 hours of theory and 90 hours of practical. That's probably the ratio you're going to be having, because with
Right.
theory, we can just, we'll just dictate, we'll tell you what to do, we'll guide you, we'll see how much you absorb. But everything is always done as a practical examination more than just theoretically. We do have a
Right.
couple of exams that is theory to make sure that you understand what you're learning, but
Mhm.
and we have an average score as well that you have to complete in order to move on. And if
Right.
the person does not understand, and we understand this when we check their papers, then we will obviously slow down the course. We will do a little bit of a remix on the course to
Right.
make it more
Right.
understandable for the person, so people
Right.
understand and learn in different timelines. So this is how we
Right.
do it. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, and what kind of a fee range is involved in these courses? Can you give us an approximate at least?
Okay. So I'm just going to give you like an approximate. Okay. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it's not going to be what the current market value is, because
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah, yeah.
aware. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I would think anything from 5 lakhs to 25 lakhs. It really depends on
Right.
how much you want to invest. It's like I said,
Okay.
the more you want to learn, the
Mm-hmm.
better in the institute, the more you have
Right.
to pay. It's like
Yeah.
buying a Mercedes Benz and buying a
Yeah.
Maruti car. You
Right.
have to decide
So,
which one you want and how much
yeah,
you want to pay, you know?
of course.
And this is the approximate for you, just an
So the
approximate.
range is somewhere between 5 to 25 lakhs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, great. Okay, and when we're talking about courses like you said that if preferably like people should know how, when you're becoming a pet groomer, it should be like for all kinds of species as well. But
Mhm.
are the courses separate for dog grooming, cat grooming, or any kind of pet grooming? And is it
Okay.
uh, and say if I or someone like already knows how to groom a dog, like I have already
Hmm.
had some sort of certification in a dog groomer and I want to learn other pet grooming, so does it get easier for me? Is there another kind of like a extended course where I don't have to do like a complete cat grooming course or like a complete another species pet grooming course, and I can just like probably get this course extended or something like that?
Yeah. So, I mean, in our institute, when we teach you, we basically teach you all of them together. Okay.
Okay.
So you're
Okay.
basically, you don't have to list it. Like these are individual courses that you might have to list when you're abroad. But in
Right.
India, I understand, like I told you, I understand the value of time and I understand the passion and also the financials that go into the course while you're studying. I understand it's hard for some people. And
Uh-huh.
I want to make it the most beneficial for them. So I
Right.
add everything I can, right from behavior analogy to skin analogy to handling aggressive pets without station, handling cats. I put all of them to one, including a grooming parlor management course. So they're not separate courses that you have to invest in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I,
Okay.
I combine all of these courses together and I teach everything that needs to be so the person is aware of every kind of grooming for domestic breeds of pets.
Right, right,
Hmm.
right. But like I said, I'm sure like there are other institutes or academies that are doing the courses separately. For example, there
Yeah.
is like a dog grooming course, and okay, because like naturally, it's we can like it cannot be assumed that somebody who wants to become a dog groomer also wants to become a cat groomer, or vice versa. If
Agreed.
you're just talking about dogs or cats here.
Hmm.
So, say if we've done a certification like that, is it possible?
Hmm.
Is it does it get easier for a dog groomer to become like another pet groomer, or do we have to like again invest in another grooming course altogether? How does it?
Okay, so I don't know how easy it's going to get because it all depends on the interest of the candidate, right? If they were
Right.
just doing it to continue a course, then it all depends on how open their mind is, how ready they are to receive new input, and it could be a deviation from whatever they've learned earlier, right?
Right.
So
Right.
when you've set up a foundation, sometimes we tend to only stick or adhere to what we already know.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you're learning a different breed or different species, there are things that need to change up. And there are different kind of things that you need to understand about those particular pets in hand. So
Mm-hmm.
it may not be very easy, but it's not
Uh-huh.
difficult.
Okay.
Okay. Because they
All
already
right.
handle pets. So it just depends on their interest now.
Right, right, makes
Hmm.
sense. Okay, let's take a couple of more audience questions. Anil here is asking, I'm not in India presently. How can I do your classes? He
Oh,
wants to know how can he do your classes? Is it
sorry,
possible?
Anna. So sorry, Anna. You'll have to come to India. I'm so
We'll
sorry.
have to go to
Um,
India.
you'll just have to come here because I mean, I have been asked multiple times to conduct online training courses and all of that. But honestly, I will never be satisfied teaching you online because I don't believe that you can learn everything. I could give you guidelines and pointers, maybe as a benefit to the course, but I can't give it to you as the course. you know we'll have to see and look into that, and I'll let you know the moment I know what's the next plan of action.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Mhm.
How much is learning styling important over normal grooming for career?
How much learning styling? Okay, so in India, unfortunately, we don't have much of the option for styling. It's a very just a handful of people who want styling on their pet. All right, but it is an added benefit. It is an added benefit because with styling comes creativity. So you can decide to transform, let's say, even a basic pet that walks into your studio into something a little more glam and fam, provided everybody is willing to accept the pet as that is. You know, as of right now, there have been just a handful of people who, request this. A little bit of coloring
Yeah.
here, a little mohawk there. Just a
Yeah.
handful of people. But it's not, I mean,
Right.
it's an added benefit if they want to do it. Nothing like learning. It's the more you can learn, the better. No issues with that.
So this question was asked by AK Mittal. He further continues. I'm planning
Okay.
to enter the profession of grooming, styling, and product selling. Shall I
Mm-hmm.
start for all at a time or one by one? If
Mm-hmm.
one by one, then what should be the sequence?
Okay. So, Mr. Mittal. Okay, thank you for the question. So again, Mr. Mittal, I can only tell you from my experience because I've started with grooming. I started with basic grooming, and then I did my course on styling because I wanted to add more knowledge to what I already know. And since I had the foundation, I could develop it better. And now, as you know, I also create my own products for this. So I would think step by step is great, because when you establish in one, then you have a strong ground on that one, and then you can move on. But sometimes when you get into everything at one time, it can get a little confusing because you don't know where you're going to put your 100%, you know?
Right,
So maybe one by one, and you can start in the same sequence that you've mentioned: grooming,
right.
styling, and then product selling. Or you could even, yeah, that would be great.
Well, yeah,
Hmm.
cool. Okay, Manu here is asking a little off topic, but he's asking for grooming tips for short, medium coat,
Short,
and long
medium, and
coat.
long coat dogs. Can you share grooming tips? Well, you just have to follow your basic grooming methods. It depends on the kind of dog you're talking about. Now, short, medium, long coat is pretty much all the range, so they all require different tools. So, if I knew the breeds, I could recommend what to do. Um, but generically, you'll probably need, like, for your short coated dogs, you'll need a soft bristle brush. For your medium and long coated dogs, you'll need a slicker brush, and for the long coated and silky coated dogs, you'll need a slicker brush and a pin brush and a greyhound comb. Now,
Right.
again, the sequence of using those depends on the type of dog they have.
Okay. Okay. I
Hmm.
hope that helps, Malu. Okay. Michael asked, was it your dream to become a pet groomer in your childhood?
Okay. Was it my dream? Oh my God, I'm a child of many dreams. Sorry. So,
Yeah.
um, being honest with you, I always loved pets. My mom is like my foundation, my rock. So, we've grown up with pets all our life, and it wasn't just dogs. It was cats, geese, ducks, cows, goats. You name it, we have a farm. So we have this. And I was actually very keen on the fashion industry, and I was very keen on the music industry, because that's music was or is my passion. So I do write songs. I have
Oh,
been
that's
able
so.
to, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I did that. I did poetry. I was a fashion designer. I have a bridal store in India. I do
Okay.
do Western wedding gowns. I'm still very much into that. But I don't think all of this could have happened if I hadn't had this switch from all my dreams to what I was really good at, which
Mhm.
became a part of my dream, and now I'm able to enforce the rest of my dreams. Yeah.
That's
So
nice. Yeah.
yeah, it
That's
starts
that
off with
that's
something.
nicely put. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sherwin is asking, at Fuzzy Wuzzy, do you guys give jobs after the completion of the course? Is there any kind of placement that you give to the
Okay.
candidate?
Okay. So Shervin, thank you for the question, but see, I like to check people and see how well they do. I do
Hmm.
train you to be good enough to start on your own. So this is
Right.
basically more like an entrepreneurship based course. Now,
Hmm.
personally, I'm a person who looks into the detail of every little thing. Hence,
Okay.
even after 15 years, I'm still doing the job myself. Yes, I
Right.
have assistants, but none of them do my job. They're here to assist me for holding the dog or helping me get my tools or anything. So
Right.
if the person or the candidate is extremely good, maybe
Hmm.
I will consider, because it's
Hmm.
been quite a while that I've been doing this on my own and I do need
Yeah.
some rest. But
Yeah.
only if they're really good and they can take what I say to heart and understand what finish I'm looking at.
Okay.
Definitely. It's an option for the future.
Hmm. So you just
Yeah.
like join you and just fare really well in the course to
You have
join
to
you.
really do well, really do well.
Okay, AK Mittal is asking how much salary a pet groomer can expect after doing training from your institute. You can tell
Okay.
us a range if you don't want to
Yeah.
mention.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mittal. Sorry. Yeah. So, I'm sorry, but unfortunately, most of the people who join, that is almost 95% of the people who join me, never work under anyone else. They
Oh,
always establish their own sites, and they always end up making this their career option,
uh-huh.
because the amount of knowledge that you have when you're done with this gives you that ability and liberty to set up on your own. I've only had, like I said, 95% of them all set up, and the 5% all do this only for passion, just for their own pets. So I've never had one of my groomers work under someone. An average groomer an average groomer who is certified, who's got experience of more than 8 years, can
Uh-huh.
expect to range anything between, I'm giving you the lowest and the highest from what I can
Yeah, yeah,
understand. Anything
sure, sure.
from 10 to a lakh. That's 10,000
Okay.
to a lakh. But then again, that's working under someone. It all
Yeah,
depends on the establishment who can give you the amounts that you're looking at and how good you are at what you're doing. But from my
right.
personal experience, after doing my training, none of them have worked under anyone. Very proudly saying that. So yeah,
Yeah,
they haven't.
that's cool. Okay, Vinod is asking, are you planning to conduct any grooming program in Kerala?
Okay. So Vinod, thank you. Yeah, actually, we were actually planning to do a lot of seminars this year.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, because of the reasons, as you understand, the pandemic, we have to push everything to next year if it's safe enough for us to travel. We were
Mhm.
planning to come and do small seminars on training for grooming in
Mhm.
in different not sorry states, not countries.
Yeah,
Sorry, yeah, in
yeah.
different states, and
That too will be
about
someday for sure.
oh yeah, you never know. Thank you. Yes, you never know. But honestly, now with all the current situation, I think that's something of a little far-fetched idea at the moment for me right now because we don't want to take any risks, and
Mhm.
we would rather the person come to us where we know we can monitor everything. And plus, even if I do come to your state, I can only do a seminar because I won't be able to train you because I won't have the dogs to provide you, and
Uh-huh.
then we won't have the equipment that we can move on mobile so we can train you with all the best things in life. So it's difficult. But seminars, yes, you can look out for those are on the way.
Nice. That's nice.
Mhm.
Krishna is saying, my wife wants to study at your institute and we are ready for it after this epidemic situation. That's cool.
Sure, sure. We are open. We do have about 18 students in waiting currently. So, yes, we will need your dates and of your availability, and we'll let you know ours. And definitely, if she's interested, just call me. I'm just a call away.
Nice.
Thank you.
Sharon is asking, where is Fuzzy Wuzzy based? Like, I know it, but can you tell the people
Okay.
where
Fuzzy
Fuzzy Wuzzy
Fuzzy.
is
Okay.
based?
So, Fuzzy
Where?
Fuzzy. Yeah, okay. So Fuzzy Buzzy is based in Bangalore and we
Uh-huh.
are in the center of town. It's on CMH Road in Ranagar. So we're in the center of town, the heart of town. It's very easy for you to find on your Google Maps. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice to know that you have students who are further generating employment. That's nice. Michael's asking, how are you still a successful groomer till today? Can you share with us?
The secret.
Uh-huh.
The secret. Okay. Well, how am I? It's honestly, you have to give up a lot. You have to sacrifice quite a bit. There's
Mhm.
no going out. Um, there's no, outsourcing your work to others. There's no
Right.
looking over small little things. There's no holiday. I rarely take holidays. I mean, I don't work on Saturdays and Sundays because I have alternate businesses, but I don't take holidays even if I'm not well, and I don't cancel my grooming appointments, and I'm always available and I work as long as the dog requires me to. So I don't have time restrictions. So
Okay.
yes, if you want to be successful, you have to do the job yourself and it has to be important to you, very important to you. So you have to dedicate some amount of time in the day. You like I don't work from morning to night because I know it's going to be a strain for me. I dedicate 6 hours a day to my job and I give it my 120%. You know, I give it my all. So that is the key to success in this field. And you have to
Yes.
eat really well. You have to eat really well. You need
Okay.
energy.
Right.
You need a lot
Right.
of energy.
Right, right. Okay. Shraddha Veragi Panale saying, hey Radhya, Shraddha, you have any question, you can definitely drop in here. So, a couple of new people joining us. We are here with Radhiya Hemchandra. She's an international all breeds master groomer. been in the industry for over 15 years, and she's here talking about what it takes, how to become a pet groomer, all the courses, what kind of courses you can take, any kind of pet salon, if you want to start up a pet salon, those kind of questions if you have. You can drop it in the comments section below. We only have 10 minutes left in the session. So she's here for that time, and you can definitely ask a question. So rather initially, like when we started the session,
Mm-hmm.
the one of the major things that you kept mentioning when
Mm-hmm.
asked that, okay, what is the things that we need to have or take care of when we are entering this field? You said that you pointed out financial stability a lot. So, like, what kind of financial stability are we looking at when we decide to professionally become a pet groomer? What do you
Okay.
mean by financial stability here?
What I mean by financial stability is when a person's entering this, firstly, I believe that they should enter this field with pure passion. Okay. And I
Right,
understand that they want to convert this into their profession, and it is a very successful profession to have. However, you can't depend solely on this income, that you want to generate from this profession to support your lifestyle, at least initially.
right,
When you enter the field, you can't expect to can't go kaching and go like, okay, I want this amount of money and this is what I have and this is my plan. You can't do
right.
that because things don't always go as planned. You
Mm-hmm.
need to have some backing, like for example, let's say this we've had to close for some time. So
Yeah.
if you were to depend only on the job, then how
Mm-hmm.
are you going to be able to suffice enough income to pay your rents and your salaries if you have to, and your bills? So I
Right.
recommend that a person has, I'm not telling them that they need to have tons of money or bags of money. I think they should
Yeah.
have enough backing to at least go a couple of months, off guard in case there's no
Right.
work.
Right.
That's all that I mean by financial stability.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Makes
Hmm.
sense. All right. And like you mentioned, an unforeseen situation, for example, this pandemic, COVID-19 like situation, or any other
Hmm.
time of crisis that will certainly bring some sort of instability in this kind of career. We all know that obviously now the unlocking has started. So, like a lot of grooming salons and have opened up and stuff. But at least like the first few months when the lockdown was complete, all the grooming salons and everything had to be shut down completely. So, in times like these, what can be done alternatively? Like, what were you doing alternatively, like when you were shut down? So, maybe people have a better idea about what can be done.
Okay. So, when I was shut down, I was seriously shut down. I think that's the first holiday I've had in years, really. So, I was actually kind of relieved because I would never take a holiday on my own because I would think that I was not, I was being lazy. So, in a way, I got all the rest that I needed. And I think I've come back in better force now. Now, I'm just giving you, pointing out on a personal note, right? So, with of course with the business aspect, of course, we did suffer great losses,
Yeah,
because one is we still do have to pay our rents, and we had to make sure that was done. Otherwise, they would just say you'd have to close up or something.
yeah,
So that
yeah,
was necessary. And the amount of pets that came in after this pandemic, because the problem is nobody was actually doing anything. So
yeah.
we did have a session earlier last, I think, a couple of months ago on your
Yes, we
channel,
did.
because
Yes,
about basic maintenance, which a lot of people
yeah,
found very helpful, and they were very
yeah.
happy. And I think
That's
they
true.
did a great job maintaining them to the best
Yeah,
ability they could.
yeah,
They really were very happy. And
yeah.
but I do have so many cases now that are so severe, because some of them are older people who weren't able to dedicate that kind of time. So we've been on an overload right now. And
Oh,
it's going to be like that for a couple of months, because
yeah.
it's been a few months that everything was shut down. But once everything normalizes again, the person, again, you'll have to imagine a next crisis, and you'll have to save enough money, and you'll have to do enough of a backing for your business so that you'll
Mm-hmm.
be able to, sustain. So that's
Right,
important. Hmm.
right. Okay. Um, what are the safety hazards that one can expect when we choose to become a pet groomer?
Okay. So now safety hazards. Okay. So as you
Yeah,
know, a groomer's job is one of the hardest jobs in the world. Okay. So we pretty much deal with all dangerous items throughout the day. We deal with shears and scissors. We deal with
right.
clippers. We deal
Mm-hmm.
with electricity because of our geysers and heaters. We deal with water. So we
Right.
slip and fall. And we
Uh-huh.
deal with the most beautiful creatures, pets, that don't listen to us or don't understand what we say. So
Yeah,
they bite, they scratch, they resist, then
right.
they get disappointed if you hold them too tight. If you hold
Yeah.
them too less, they want to fly off the table. And in all of that, and during all of that, they love to pee and poo on the table while you're grooming. So yeah,
Oh,
I think
okay.
we have
I didn't
a
know
lot of
that.
things that yeah. So we have a lot of
Sounds like
things as a group. Yeah, so we deal with a lot. I mean, so like you were saying, the grooming hazards is that probably you'll get a dog and you'll assume that it's a lovely dog and it'll probably be all happy and friendly to you till you take that one tool that they don't like and then they'll just bite you out of nowhere.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
not like you can leave the dog and go, so you will have wounds and scratches and everything. So I always request the dogs, I always go like, kindly don't touch this area. You can bite anything else you want, but not this area. I have already been bitten on my face. I have 33
Oh,
stitches on my face just from a dog bite. Yeah. So
33 stitches
yeah,
from
the
one.
the
Oh
whole
my
right side of my
God.
face. Now this is much younger when I was much younger, but I have about 30 on the
Uh-huh.
side holding up this side of my face. And at that time we couldn't afford
Wow.
plastic surgery, so it was hard. And then of course, I had another dog once just bite off my eyebrow, literally like that. So there's like a couple of stitches there. So it is a safety. It is a hazard to work with pets.
Yeah.
But then I plead with them now. I go, please don't touch my face, please. And then luckily they listen to
So
me.
have they listened to you since then?
Yes,
Like, so,
they have. I mean, they don't spare any other part of my body, so I can show you scars. But the face, I think they understand. They understand that.
right. So, before we defeat the entire purpose of like this session, let's go to
Yeah,
the benefits of taking this up as a career as well. This is a
sure,
little
sure.
scary, but what are the benefits of taking this up as a career and as a profession?
Okay, so the benefits, I'm going to add the scary part too. So, I mean,
Yeah.
the one good thing about having to deal with dogs that bite and scratch is that you get to calm them down and you get to change their point of view. All right. So
Mhm.
when you, as a groomer, are good with pets and you understand their behavior, you'll know what is good, what is not, what they like, what they don't like, which reduces the hazards. So it becomes a more happy environment to work in. And the benefits to do this is you can design your own life by having this as your job. Because, like I said, you don't have to do this as a 9 to 5 job, or you don't have to have a set amount of time that you dedicate to it. Like you don't have to have like a regular job style. You can decide if you want to work 4 hours a day, take 2 dogs or 5 dogs a day. It all depends on your capacity of working, or cats a day. You can decide to have, you can do that and you have time for your own life. Because
Mhm.
nowadays a lot of people get so involved with work that they forget to live their life. And I know that happened to me as well because I used to run from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. But now
Mhm.
everything has changed because we've understood that you can only concentrate for that amount of time and
Yeah.
not have it become monotonous. So I mean, this is a benefit. Trust me. In this day's world, you have no boss. You are
Mhm.
your own boss. The
Yeah.
only complaining, the only people that might complain are the dogs, which you can pacify and hug and kiss and
Yeah.
cuddle with, and then they get all okay. And you
I
can
guess I
design
guess
your own
anybody
hours of
would
work.
take their complaining over any other kind of human complaining. So
Absolutely,
that
hundred
pretty much
times,
solves
a hundred times.
it.
Agreed,
Yeah.
agreed. I mean, pets are 100 times better than humans, but for all the good humans, which are a lot in the world, I I
Yeah.
understand what you mean too. But yes, and yes, and I think it's very fulfilling because when you see a pet which is like in a very bad condition, and you're able to make that difference to that pet, you're able to take care of it, you're able to transform it from a very bad condition to a great condition. you feel a lot of gratification. You feel very gratified. You feel like you've done something to change your life, and that
Uh-huh.
increases the love of the pet and the owner, because when a dog is not very clean or has a lot of problems, sometimes the owners distance themselves because of basic fear like infection
Yeah,
or
yeah,
hurting the dog or something. But when a dog is all ready and cuddly, the
of
dog is
course.
happier, they're less aggressive. So it makes a
Right.
world of a difference. And when you see that happening and such nice people saying such nice things, I think that it really makes a big difference. You feel like doing it more.
Super. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course,
You know,
oh, before we forget, you can
mhm.
also earn very well from this. So I mean, since
Yeah, you
I'm,
told me.
I'm going
Yeah.
on, yeah, you can earn well from this. I mean, if you have all the right reasons behind this job, you can earn
Mhm.
a really good lifestyle. Okay, I'm very proud of what I've achieved so far because I've not had to depend on my family from when I was 15, which is a great thing for someone, So it can make you very financially independent and stable, and you can design your own life. That's the most a privilege a person can have now. Sorry,
Right.
before we forgot, I just thought I'd say that.
No, no, that was like one of the major benefits, you
Wait,
know.
yeah.
Uh, Awesome. Okay.
Hmm.
I have the last question for you. Before that, we just have one more question in the audience.
Hmm.
Manju Parkavi is asking, can I become a professional pet groomer without knowing any basics? Um,
Hmm.
what do you have to say about that? And I think it's Krishna Prasad is asking, my wife is very new to this field and she wants to be a
Hmm.
professional groomer. So can you just
Okay,
reiterate that what is
sure.
required?
So anyone can become one. Like I said, if you have the patience and the passion, if you love or you want to deal with pets, you can. I've had people who've never touched a cat or dog coming in here to learn grooming, and they've all ended up having 5, 6 dogs and cats of their own. So
Right.
there is no restriction. If you have the patience and the passion to do this sincerely, yes,
Mhm.
anytime you can become a professional pet groomer with the right education and with the right guidance. Yes.
Right. He's also
Mhm.
asking, is it possible to learn more about skin infections related to dogs in the grooming course?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Krishna. Sorry. Yeah. So in our course, of course, we actually include all of this. We do skin analogy here, which nobody else does in this country. So we do
Right.
teach you a lot of dog-related skin infections, cat-related skin infections, and how to identify, suppress, and cure them. So this is all a part of our basic professional course. So, like I said, all you need is this kind of a course to set you up so you have ample knowledge about most of the fields that you're dealing with. All
Right.
right. So yes, we do have this available in our course.
Superb. Okay, so Radha, before we close the session, we
Hmm.
you said that there are a few academies apart from your own
Hmm.
which are
Hmm.
teaching grooming in India, and obviously we all know that it's also a grooming course that can be learned abroad. So, can you
Hmm.
tell us that does it make sense to go abroad for grooming because India is so different in terms of the climatic conditions and stuff, and even the breeds that can live here or are here are very different from what you can probably find in any abroad country for that matter. So,
Yeah.
is it necessary to have an international qualification, or we can just very well rely on on a qualification by an Indian grooming academy?
Okay. So I can only speak for myself in this case. I'm being honest with you. Um, if you are educated in a good institute that teaches you all the values that you need to know about dog grooming and everything that entails to dogs breed standards and breed classification that to the climatic conditions in our country, then yes, I would suggest that this kind of a qualification and this kind of a course will be more than enough for you to set up. All right. Now, if you have this, you can run a business, you can be independent, and everything is good. Now, if you want to further your knowledge, nobody's going to stop you. You can always
Right,
further your knowledge in any particular part of this field or generically in this field if you want to get educated abroad. All right.
right,
However, like I said earlier, getting yourself educated abroad is quite expensive. It is being
Right.
honest with you, quite
Right.
expensive and time consuming because you need to stay there, you need to depend on others, you know. So if you can do all of this in a great institute like ours, I
Mhm.
don't see the need to do anything beyond this for the next 5 years at least. You know,
Okay.
when you've established a business and you're running great. And only if
Right.
you want to do like styling, or if you want to do creative grooming and want to go deeper into the field, then you could do it. I mean, made sure I was certified in everything so I knew what was being taught. And I still
Right.
think that I learned much more here on my own, you
Okay.
know?
Okay.
So
So
there's
we're
a lot.
saying so.
It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're basically saying that it's
Right.
beneficial, but it's not really necessary. Like you don't have to have a international
Yeah,
qualification.
it all depends on you. It all depends on you. We provide good enough courses for you to set up your business. It's valid. You can set up anywhere in the world you want. And if you want to learn more, and nobody will stop you. You can always learn more later when you're established, when you have enough to learn. You can.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Radha, looks like our time is up and we have to end the live session. Thank you so much, Radha,
Yeah.
for joining us and helping us understand so much more about pet grooming and, as a professional career for that matter, and even a successful option. Thank
Mhm.
you, pet parents who joined us and the ones who participated in the session and got their questions answered. Hope we were able to help you in some way. People who are joining us now or missed out the first part of the video, this video is going to be available on our page in the Pet Keeping 101 section and even our YouTube channel. So you can definitely log in after we end this video. Once again, thanks a lot, Radhya, for joining in.
Thank you. Thank you, Samya. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Samya and Pet Fed. You guys
Yeah,
are great. Thank you.
thank you.
And I will hope
Yeah,
to see you again and we'll cover
yeah,
some more interesting topics. Yeah?
awesome. You will. Yeah. All
Okay.
right.
Take
Bye.
care.
You
See
too.
you. Bye.